Here we go. Well, good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on your point of reference on which part of the DC multiverse you're existing in.
YouTube has no time. There's no time on YouTube. It exists in its own multiverse.
This is the Unknown Comics. My name is Mark.
I'm Zach.
Oh, hi.
Anyway, what we want to do is talk about today is our favorite comic characters.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
We're going to talk about our favorites and then talk about some of the lesser known comic characters that exist out there in comic book land. So,
Indeed. Want me to start?
Zach, who's your favorite comic book character?
All right. It's a two-way tie.
Okay.
Though lately it has changed. I'm a huge Batman guy. You know, you gotta love the Dark Knight.
Right.
Now it's become so like popular. I don't get that. Why he's so popular. But, I love Batman, but
He's the anti-hero.
he is a bit.
Yeah.
You know, it's just everybody loves him because he doesn't have powers. And I think people are just fascinated by that. He's so dark and gritty. But on the opposite end, you know, I love Batman, I love the darkness. But if I had to pick one who I adore, it's gonna be Plastic Man.
Plastic Man.
This is the Kyle Baker issue, but I brought this from '76. It's Ramona Fradon. I love getting these. They're cheap. Nobody wants Plastic Man books. They're very easy to find, especially when you live in Georgia. Yeah, nobody gets funny superheroes. They all want rednecks. But this is the Kyle Baker run. So cool. The cover is made of rubber. I love this. You know, and Plaz is a Golden Age character. I think he's A. Nobody else seems to. But he's an A-list character to me.
So where did Plastic Man come from, Zach?
He is from Quality Comics, which was a competitor with DC back in the 40s and 50s. And he was invented in 1941, Police Comics #1, and 5 issues in, he was the main character. Took over every other character. Created by Jack Cole, who is an amazing cartoonist. My two favorite comic book artists are both Jacks, Jack Kirby, Jack Cole. So definitely, you know, he brought in comedy. This is pre-Mad Magazine. And he just brought in so much art, and he was funny, and his characters were weird, and his stories were really dark and about death and suicide. But then he'd have somebody fall, and it'd be really funny, and everybody loves it. Plaz is one of those characters who just sticks around.
Absolutely.
I love him.
Plastic Man is an interesting character because he's so just there. You know
He's just
what I mean?
there.
He's
Yeah.
just there.
He shows up every once in a while.
And people are, you know, amazed that there's this weird character that nobody knows anything about.
Well, you know, I just love it's like Plaz and Batman, the two that I shouldn't, nothing similar at all, but they just work great together.
Although, in the DC universe, Batman and Plastic Man are kind of connected.
Yes. Yes, there are many
I think
outlets.
the fascinating thing too is because Plastic Man is such an old character, people don't realize that you know, I mean, he's only a couple of years younger than Superman and Batman.
Batman came out 39?
39. You know, Superman 37, Batman at 39, and so
That's 41.
Yeah, 41. So comic books were really,
well,
the whole superhero idea was just getting started.
Well, you look at all those characters from that era, because it's not just him. You know, there's tons. The Comet, the Ray, the Freedom Fighters, Phantom Lady, Human Bomb. All these characters who aren't really around.
Right.
They may have cameos. I watch Brave and the Bold. They're on there sometimes, but you know, none of them last quite like the big three.
Right.
And some of the offhand ones.
The secondary guys.
Yeah, which is what we love. So.
Which it's because we like comic
true
books.
geeks.
Right. Right. Anybody can be a Batman fan.
Anybody, and I am, so that proves it.
And I'm a Batman fan, but I'm also a Green Arrow
Bam!
fan.
He went hippie with it.
That's right. Well, see, the thing about Green Arrow was also began in 1941.
Yeah.
Started with More Fun Comics in 1941. He was just one of several other characters in the comics. Because back in those days, comic books weren't about a character. Comic books were a lot of stories in the book, and you had different characters had their own individual stories. And again, like Plastic Man, after about 3 or 4 books in, Green Arrow was the guy.
Yeah.
He took over. He was on the covers. He was the main story that was in those books and was a very popular character. And kind of like the poor man's Batman. because Batman was established. And so Green Arrow came along, and they gave him a youthful sidekick named Speedy. He had the Arrow Cave.
That name becomes so ironic when you get to the Denny O'Neil,
yeah.
when he's shooting Arrow.
Hey, well, yeah. Wow. I never thought of that. He had the Arrow Cave, the Arrow car, the aeroplane, the Arrow boat. He had all of the, you know, there's actually is a great book that I've got that's got Batman and Green Arrow talking, and then Batman said, "Didn't you have any original ideas back then?" And so, I mean, it's kind of funny now.
Yeah.
So Green Arrow existed back in the golden age of comics, and then in the Silver Age, he was kind of like a background or extra character. He was that guy who would be something and Green Arrow. Here's a 1975 Action Comics, and he was a backstory in this one. You have the Brave and the Bold, and it's Batman and Green Arrow.
I put Batman in so many of those too, because I have a bunch that are just like
Batman and, well, it was Brave and Bold at this period back in the 70s was kind of like Batman and...
Well, it's a great way to sell your other characters. It's like, hey, check this out, he's hanging with Batman, don't you want to read that?
Everybody loves Batman.
Everybody loves him.
And then in the 70s, there was this great thing where Denny O'Neil, one of my favorite comic writers, and Neil Adams did the Hard Traveling Heroes with Green Lantern co-starring Green Arrow. From 1941 until 1985, Green Arrow never had a Green Arrow comic book.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Never was ever for over 40 years. There never had been a Green Arrow book, and then they had this little four series run about 1985, and then in 1987, Mike Grell came out with the Longbow Hunters. If you've never read any Green Arrow, get Mike Grell's The Longbow Hunters. It's just an incredible story.
Do you know if they have that in trade?
It is out right now. Actually, it just got re-released as a trade paperback. It's available in bookstores right now because of Arrow.
And we don't get paid by DC.
No,
so
we're
amazing that
we're not. And then they began the 80-issue Mike Grell run of the Green Arrow.
Great stuff.
Which is awesome. And then, of course, it changed and continued, and they killed him, and they brought him back to life. And
with the Kevin Smith.
Yeah, Kevin
Weird
Smith.
parallel there.
Right there, Kevin Smith wrote Quiver. Great story. And,
Quiver's really good.
And then brought him back in, and of course now Green Arrow is popular because of the CW show, The Arrow.
Well, I loved
which is great. I enjoyed the show.
The Judd Winnick run.
Yeah.
Judd Winnick took over after Smith, and he also did some Batman stuff. If you've seen the Under the Red Hood movie, he wrote that arc in the book and the movie. And I liked his stuff too, his Arrow. He's really good with that.
Yeah.
His Catwoman run he did for the New 52 was a little...
well, that gets us to the New 52.
Oh, that's going to bring us into that?
That's our segue. New 52. How many people out there have enjoyed the New 52?
Oh yeah, there's a non-responsive media.
Yes. I didn't think so. The Batman has been great.
The Batman's been very good. Scott Snyder is a great writer.
There have been a couple of them, but Green Arrow sucked in the New 52.
At least you got a New 52 book.
Yeah.
I got a cameo, and then they were like, nah.
Nah, no.
No plas.
No plastic man, sorry.
That's okay. That's the thing.
I also discovered Black Hawk. I actually found out about Black Hawk by getting some Action Comic weeklies. There was a run that Action Comics did back in the 80s again, old comic books. And it was a weekly thing with an anthology. And one of the stories was Mike Grell, my favorite Green Arrow writer, was writing this Black Hawk thing. And it's about a bunch of pilots from World War II. Well, it turns out Black Hawk got started in 1941. That's right. With military comics, and they were with Quality Comics.
Very racist.
And
as that era is.
Incredibly racist stuff, but it was fun. And really, again, cool, interesting characters with a lot of history. So
I love that cover.
And this was from 1989.
That was that era when
they were writing some really cool stuff.
That one, and then they redid Plas, and that was about the time of Grell. That's when everybody.
Yeah. That's
post Batman Year One.
Late '80s. It seemed like there was a resurgence of a lot of great comic book art and stories that were being told then. And Yeah, it's really cool. Get the old, especially the old '70s. To me, the old '70s and '60s comics, and you look at the ads.
Oh, the Hostess cream pie ads, where it's always like,
They're
you know,
fun.
Batman fighting somebody who's not really a bad guy.
Who's
He
trying to
just wants a
steal
pie.
the Twinkie? I
He
want
just
the
wants a
Twinkie.
pie.
Give me the Twinkie.
Batman, I want him to take like the Frank Miller
Right.
Batman or the new kind of serious Grant Morrison, Scott Snyder Batman,
Right.
and put him in those Hostess cream pie ads where Joker's like, I'm going to kill this little boy if you don't give me a Hostess cream pie. And he just breaks his arm. Where's the trigger pie, Dad? You know, here's your pie. And he like shoves it in his nose. Would you not?
Well, you've wasted I don't know how much time because we haven't edited this, but
Yeah.
we are the Unknown Comics. We'll be back again, I'm sure. This was fun.
Soon. We'll see how this one
See how
goes.
this goes. We'll get this posted up and.
Get angry letter from
Add
Hawkman
that-
fans.
No kidding, man.
If you
Kevin
have
Smith-
comments,
Kevin
please.
Smith stopped smoking weed for 10 minutes to kick our asses.
Right. Put down the joint and quit watching hockey.
Make
Come
another
on.
movie. Make another movie.
Yeah,
You're
Clerks
talented.
3. Clerks 3.
Clerks 3 for the win.
We
Come
need
on.
it. Come on.
I love you.
Yeah, write more Green Arrow stuff. You really did a great job.
Yeah.
Has he done
Peace.
Green Arrow stuff?